I want you to avoid some of the things that they did. And that's why they're here. It may not seem real to you, but believe me, it's very real. Okay, so they have a history to share with you. So I want to thank you for allowing us to be here today. Okay.
How you guys doing? Of course, my name is Tyree, and everybody's story, as far as they past that they've been down, is a little different. My story is very different and very crazy. I had a pretty good upbringing in Philadelphia, West Philadelphia. I lived in other states for off and on. Lived in Dallas, lived in Atlanta. When I was a kid, when I was y'all age, you know, a lot of people ask you, what do you want to be in life? Unfortunately, my goal in life was to be a drug dealer. I hate to say it, but that was what was my influence, because that was what was all around me. My mother was a school teacher, very smart. She had a master's degree. But when I went outside in the neighborhood, the only thing I seen was cars and gold and things like that. I'm 40, so I grew up in the cocaine era, the crack era. And like I said, I made a lot of bad choices because of the lifestyle that I want to live. And some of the choices I made weren't because I wanted to make them. They were really because I had to make them. And I was asked to speak to y'all to try to keep y'all from making, y'all might not make the choices that I made, but to keep y'all from making some of the choices that will end y'all up in prison. I've been in prison at 19. I got indicted by the federal government for at a couple crack houses. I had a crack house down South Philly that I got locked up in, that I had crack cocaine in a handgun. I went to jail for 4.5 years, my first time ever going to jail. There wasn't no juvenile, wasn't no slaps on the wrist or anything. I went straight to jail. I came home, tried to change my life. You know, I got a job and worked out, and I had an attitude issue. I still, technically in my mind, I didn't want to change. So, you know, I worked for a little while. I got fired from that. Well, actually, I got laid off from the job. The job went out of business. My attitude, which was positive, went to negative again. And this time, my attitude got even worse. So I went back to the streets again, started selling drugs again. This time, this story is a little different. This is a story I didn't tell when I was in there. I had dominated a drug corner in my neighborhood. So, you know, along with me trying to achieve, you know, me being a drug dealer and dominating a street corner, a lot of violence came with it. I've been shot a lot of times. I've been stabbed. I had to shoot at people. You know, my life has always been look over and watch my back. Like, even to this day, that still follows me. I can't live certain places. I have to live in pretty good, nice neighborhoods, because if I live in a bad neighborhood, people will think that I'm still the same person, and they'll break into my house, try to maybe home invade. I had my sons tied up and you know, kidnapped and things of that sort for drug money. Took some money from me before. Of course, I got, you know, like, the stories I'm explaining to y'all, I can't get into detail with, because there's not enough time. But a lot of people, you know, a lot of you guys, it all starts with one trouble, one thing that you get in trouble for, and it messes you up for life. It messes you up, your opportunities to be able to get a job, your opportunities to even be accepted in society. All you guys are in this class, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, he explained to me what this class is, but, you know, like, you're considered different. But in my eyes, you're all the same as everybody else in the school. Even though I've had troubles that I've had in life, I'm still the same person. You know what I mean? I'm a person that you would see every day in life. And, you know, I'm held back because of my history and because of my past. A lot of times I don't get a chance to speak. This is my chance now, but I don't get a chance to speak, and people to get to know me, to know that, you know, I'm a regular person, just like, you know, everybody else. And And guys, like I said, I don't know, what you're into, whether you're into drug usage, whether you're into just committing stupid crime. Don't be stupid. None of y'all be stupid. But stupid crimes get you in jail forever. You know what I mean? I've been in jail, I guess about 3 different times. I went to jail again for assaulting, I guess they considered me assaulting an officer. You know what I mean? A lot of these crimes I've done, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that I didn't do them. I didn't assault the officer. But, from just being in that lifestyle, it was like, it was a whirlwind that just kept me in and out of prison, kept me from succeeding in life the way that I wanted to succeed. You know what I mean? I'm a very smart person. I went to school. I did go to school. That's the one thing I did. I got my GED. I had some vocational training. I'm always, trying to learn. But these issues that I've had in my past, they follow me. They follow me for the rest of my life, which is another reason why I'm here now. They're following me. I shouldn't have to be here speaking to you guys about, staying on the right path. I should have took the right path, and I wouldn't have had to do this. But, I've made some mistakes. My mistakes cost me, and I'm here, like I said, to try to tell y'all not to make the same mistakes I made. You guys have any questions?
How hard is it getting a job as a convicted felon?
Getting a job is like, at one point I almost gave up, which is another thing why you don't want to go down that path, because me getting a job, it's always a lot of closed doors in my faces. The jobs that I want to get, I will never get, because they say they go back, 7 years or whatever in your history. Once you get a record, it follows you for life. They say they expunge things and things of that sort. I haven't seen it. You know what I mean? Maybe if they might expunge something, a smaller crime like smoking weed, marijuana, or something like that. But when you start, getting into higher crimes, they don't expunge none of that. All of that follows you for life. I will never get a job at certain jobs. I've never been a cashier that won't let me touch no money. You know what I mean? I always had the hard jobs in life. Always. Any other questions? Guys, are a tough group. Y'all don't want to talk, huh?
What's it like being in charge of the corner?
Being in charge of a corner is, it's kind of like, I guess I was considered a leader in my criminal world. You know what I mean? Being in charge of the corner is a lot of responsibility. Of course, I can't let anybody else come on my corner. And unfortunately, I don't really like talking about it. I still feel nervous about talking about it. I have to threaten people with violence. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was a violent person, but I guess I have. I've been considered a violent person. I've been known to punch you, shoot you, do whatever I had to do to keep you off my corner. And I know it sounds like a game, like I'm lying to you, but this is real. Like, this is real talk, and I really don't like I said, talking about it, because it's a chapter in my life that you guys, I don't know if y'all would ever experience it, that y'all would ever understand, but it's not something that you want to do. It's not something. I'm here now. Everything that I've ever achieved in life, all the money that I made, it's all gone. I still have some things, but it's a struggle with these small jobs that I'm getting, trying to maintain houses, trying to pay car insurance for different cars, and maintain these things. It's not a life that, if I would have did it all over again and did the right thing, I could have made that type of success that I made in the criminal world in a positive world with the brain that I had, if I just stayed out of trouble and did the things that I was supposed to do. I was always in a rush. Yes, sir.
Did anybody ever try to tell you to stop doing what you were doing?
You know what? People from different walks would tell me to stop doing what I was doing. People from my side of, my side of life encouraged me to keep doing it. Even to this day, people still ask me, they want help from me. I'm not in a position to help anybody. I have a job. I can't help another grown person survive out here. I can't, these things that they want me to do, which is get them drugs and do other types of crimes, participate in crimes with them. I can't do that anymore because, like I said, it's like I was asleep all that time. I woke up now, I'm 42. I'm 42 now, I had this record, I'm trying to find jobs. Nobody wants to really hire you for a good job when you're older. Soon I'll be 43, before you know it, I'll be 50. Nobody wants to hire a person for a career type job when they get this age. So basically, technically, I messed my life up. You know, I make the best of it. It is what it is. I'm doing bad now, good now. And I've changed it around. But the opportunities that were there that I should have took advantage of when I was y'all age, I didn't take advantage of. I was messing around, you know, hanging out, messing with buddies, doing everything wrong that I could do wrong. And instead of wasting that energy and doing something right. And if I would have did everything, the knowledge that I have now from selling drugs and making all types of money and dealing with properties and credit and money and things like that, the things that I learned negatively, I could have learned those positively and went further. I probably would have owned this school. I mean,
What's it like being told what to do, when to do it, living in jail?
being told what to do and living in jail is like no difference than you being told having to sit over there. How would you like a person like that telling you every day, Mr. Reggie, telling you every day where to sit, where to stand, when to talk, not to talk, how to eat, when to make up your bed? Like, I'm a grown man, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be told. We want your freedom in life. We want to be, y'all want to succeed and be everything that you can be in life positive, the way you want to be it, without it's like, being told what to do is like having your mother in prison or your father in prison all day long telling you what to do. And if you don't do it, then it's possible that, you know, you could get a beating or something like that. Any other questions? Nobody has? You guys are real tough, yeah.
When you was like on that corner, like it was you and people, or you and just yourself?
I got pictures too. I don't know if you got them. I had about 18 people working for me on that corner, and I kind of dominated my neighborhood with force. You know, I mean, if you didn't do what I tell you to do, you had to get, something had to happen to you, unfortunately. That's the life you want to live? Huh?
Like, if you was to get jumped for all your money and stuff, like, would they like?
If I was to get robbed,
yeah.
jump, nobody's jumping. Robbed with a gun?
Yeah.
What would happen? What you mean? What would happen?
Like, if you tell your people to go with you, or you just gotta do it yourself?
I grew up in a different era. I never relied on anybody to, you know, I was a leader. So I never relied on anybody else to, I never was a follower in that sort. I never relied on anybody to do anything for me. And I never allowed anybody to influence me. I had influence as a child, yes, but I never allowed anybody to influence me on to do the wrong thing or the right thing. I always made my own decisions. So yeah, if somebody, I've been robbed a couple of times, and usually, yeah, I had to do things myself. Yes, because a lot of people say that they're your friends, and when trouble arises, I've been in, like I said, I ran my corner because a lot of people around the neighborhood they weren't cut from the same cloth that they talked. They talked and they wanted to live in this fantasy world. They wanted to be in the world that I was in, but they weren't really in that world. I was in that world. I was in that world by force. And I mean, it wasn't by choice. It wasn't because I wanted to be there. I was in there because I truly wanted to be there, and that was my upbringing. Some people that hung around me, they didn't have the same upbringing that I had, and they wanted to be in my shoes and in my life. So they came and hung around, and when bullets and stuff started flying, when police come around, and I looked around at all those guys who say they were my friends and things of that sort, they were gone. They weren't anywhere. When I was in the hospital laid up, they didn't really come visit me. You know who came to visit me? My mother, girlfriends, and they fought in there. You know what I mean? And things of that sort. So a lot of my friends, they were only really my friends really for business purposes. I only have a few real friends in life, and one of my best friends, he's in jail now. He might be facing life for getting bricks back and forth on the airplane. You know what I mean? So he might not ever come home. And my son are best friends. You know what I mean? My kids, they don't follow down the same path because they seen it. They're the total opposite of me. One of my kids, he's in the Army, he's trying to be a cop. So he wants to be a detective. He wants to be everything that I avoided. He wants to be. My daughter, she's successful. She wants to be a clothing designer. And my youngest son, he hasn't really found his way yet, but he doesn't do any of the same things that I did, mainly because he witnessed it firsthand. He watched me go to jail and be out of his life for years, and he's seen me go to jail again and be out of his life for years again. He doesn't want to follow down that same path. He looks at me like I'm an idiot. Not really an idiot, he loves me to death, but the mistakes that I made, he looks at me like I'm an idiot. And now, he kind of keeps me on that right path by telling me, like, you know, Dad, like, why do you do some of the things that you do? Like, I need you out here. I need you out here with me. You know what I mean? And, you know, I've changed since then. I've changed. Like I said, I've changed because I want to stay out of prison. Prison is not a good place for me to be going back and forth and missing my life. And now I'm here in front of y'all speaking. I wish I were you guys here, because then I could have did everything all over again the right way. But unfortunately, like I said, I wasted all that time. And now I'm here now speaking in front of y'all, 40, wishing I could be young. You know, I wear Chucks and things of that sort like you guys do. I listen to 2 Chainz and Future and Migos and all of that stuff. So, any other questions?
Right here.
Yes.
Did I hear you say that your kids were tied up or kidnapped? Or
Yes.
So, how did your choices like affect your children as as younger children? It sounds like now you guys have a pretty good relationship.
Yeah.
Did they like, were they not allowed to see you, or?
My oldest son, his mother, she kind of kept him away from me until I was 16 because of the lifestyle that I live. Even today, I don't live that lifestyle, but I still have some remnants around me of that lifestyle. She doesn't want, you know, well, she did a good job. She made a good decision in a way. She kept my son away from me for the most part. But my son always wanted to be with me, and when he got old enough to voice his opinion, you know, I told him, I said, you know, hey, you got to be the one to tell your mother that, you know, we want to spend some time with me. I can't tell her. You know what I mean? She doesn't hate the ground that I walk on, but she doesn't understand, you know, the lifestyle that I live, and she didn't understand, you know, some of the things that were happening to me and why they weren't happening to me. And she tried to keep him away from me, like I said. And I guess it was a good thing, but my youngest son has been around me all his life, and he doesn't take the same path that I have at all. So I don't think by her keeping him away from me, maybe affected him, maybe it didn't affect him, but you know, he wants to be a cop. So this is the same guy that went, and he loves me to death. He wants to hang with me now. He loves hanging with me. When I was doing wrong, sometimes he wanted to hang with me. Whether I was wrong or right, he wanted to hang with me. But his intentions and actions were still positive because he seen what I didn't see in life. You know what I mean? Any other questions?
What's it like to watch your back all the time?
It's not fun. It's not. I've been shot in the back. I've been almost ambushed several times. I've had people around me shot in my face. I've been in confrontations where I've had to pull guns on people and like TV standoff things. Like I got to the point where I was numb to it, but at the same time, like my family started getting involved in these things. Like I said, my son's being tied up and houses being broken into. Like, everything I had was always stolen from me or taken from me from some type of theft or some type of robbery or some type of conniving, something, and it's not a good life. It's not a good life at all. So, yes.
Tyree, how many times have you been arrested? And how much time have you served?
I've been arrested 26 times. I've been convicted 16 times. I've served 3 bids. One in the feds for 4 years, 3.5 to 7 upstate in the state jail for assaulting the officer and I think I violated one time and went back to jail. And the time where I met Joe, which I wasn't even convicted and still end up doing. My record is so bad, it's to the point where they don't, if I get locked up for anything, they don't want to let me go. If I jaywalk, they're trying to give me some time. You know what I mean? Anything I do, they're trying to give me some time, which is another reason why I have to, you know, I had to change my life. So yeah, I've been locked up lots of times. I've been arrested in drug raids. A lot of times I got arrested. My record was so, you know, crazy that I got arrested a lot of times from just being around people. Just if this guy, if he gets locked up with cocaine in his pocket, if I'm standing next to him and they grab me and they run my name, I'm going to jail too, just because, and I don't even know him, but they're just, because I'm around him, they're taking me to jail. I'm going to get more time than he's going. He's going to go home and I'm going to sit. And I'm probably going to be threatened with 5 or 6 years while he gets a pat on the back, or he might get a county bid and go home. So who wants that kind of life? Nobody wants that kind of life. To this day, when I walked in here and I seen the cars in my heart skip a beat. You know, he's a good guy. I don't know him. I enjoy being around, you know, officers nowadays, but you know, I still have that feeling of having to watch my back from not just people in general, from law, from people, from robbers, just from everybody. Even my interaction with a lot of people, you see I'm moving my hands, I get nervous because I've always been considered the outcast of life. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I make my way. I'm a smart person, I'll make my way. Any other questions?
How violent is it in jail?
Jail is very violent. I've seen people die, I've seen people get stabbed. I've had to, you know, gotten a lot of altercations and had to put my hands on people in prison. Like, jail is all about violence. So, all about violence. You gotta learn how to fight. You go to jail, you gotta learn how to fight. So, or else you get taken advantage of. I've seen people get money took from them. I've seen people not necessarily raped. Most people I've seen people get threatened with rape, but I've never seen anybody get raped. But it does happen. Any questions?
How often do they serve pizza in CFC?
So they used to serve pizza. They don't serve pizza anymore. Anything good that I wanted, they don't serve anymore. No chicken fingers, no pizza, no grills, no none of that. Now it's just slop.
Any Whoppers from Burger King?
No Burger King, no none of that. No. We get burgers maybe once every month.
How many visits do you get?
I was very fortunate because, like I said, the life that I lived, a lot of people, they claim they want to live that life, so I had a lot of visitors who kind of want to encourage me to stay down the wrong path. So, you know, I was very fortunate that I had a lot of visitors. But a lot of people, you know, they don't have visitors. A lot of people don't have any family members to come visit them. Some people, family members can't afford to come visit them. You know what I mean? Some people, they don't have, they have girlfriends when they start off. The girls know, and then when they get locked up, oh, he's a loser, y'all leave. You know what I mean? So.
And you're allowed 2 half-hour visits a week, correct?
Yes, 2 half-hour visits or 1 hour.
How many phone calls a day?
Well, I ran the phone line by my so-called unquote status or whatever, but most people don't use the phone. I was in charge of the phone line, so I had to let you guys use the phone line. If you weren't my friend, or if you weren't a cool person I considered cool, you weren't using the phone, period. You know what I mean? Yeah, it sounds crazy, but yeah, a lot of people don't use the phone. And if you did use the phone, you use the phone for your 1 15-minute call a day.
In your time at CFCF, did you have 2 or 3 men in your cell?
Most of the time I had 3 men in my cell. It's very uncomfortable to have to use the restroom in front of a man and have to wash your face and, you know, to have to move around 3 men in a cell that's no bigger than the space that Joe's sitting in right there. So, you know, like that wasn't, prison is not a good place, period. They're making it worse. There's nothing getting better about it. It's getting worse and worse. Your opportunities in life and succeeding from after prison are very minuscule. You have to have a very strong mind. A lot of that my strong mindedness came from me going to school. I did go to school. I went to school. I was very smart, very intelligent, passed all my classes without even studying. I was able to see things, you know what I mean, beyond the scope of what regular people see.
That's Tyree.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for allowing me to speak.
Sonny Turner.
Good morning, everybody. Take a seat and talk to you. I want to talk to you all about choices. Choices in life. Choices you make today will affect you years and years and years. Oh, anybody want a price teacher? There you go. You got a question already? I grew up two-parent home. I actually had a stepfather. My mom was married to my father for 2 years. And my father was a police officer. They got divorced. And we were the stepfather. So that's two. My mom was married. The story to me, getting into the Kool-Aid, the punch, and being drunk at the wedding, into the story. But I don't remember anything. But I do remember growing up with a stepfather, with two parents, and middle class income. I'm from West Felon, from 60th Street, which is a rough area. 60th Street is Mercedes is from. But talking about two growing up. Okay, so I did third and fourth grade in the neighborhood school on 60th Street. That's after spending first and second grade in an area called Upper Darby, the suburbs. So my stepfather moved to the suburbs into an apartment. I went to first and second grade in Upper Darby. Then I moved to the hood in the house, third and fourth grade. So it was an adjustment because schools from the suburbs are different than schools in the hood. So I had to adjust to the hood. You see what I'm saying? And the adjustment was hard because my original neighborhood in Upper Darby, me and my sister were only two black kids in an all-white area, in an all-white school. So moving to the hood was good. It was good in a way because it was different. I don't know. Let me just continue. So up to 12 years old, I had a two-parent income. Then my stepfather died when I was about 13. And so our economic level fell. You know, before 12, I used to go on vacation like every year. You know, I went to Disney World 12 times by the time I was 12. That's the type of lifestyle I did have. So coming from middle school into high school, I guess you guys are 10th, 11th, some of you 19th. All fifth grade. Right before y'all got married, I had a change in the dynamics of my family. My mom grieved over the loss of my stepfather, and she spent a lot of time in her room. And she was left me to run the streets. And running the streets, I got into trouble. It started off with drinking beer, smoking weed, that sort of stuff. It led to hooking, cutting class, getting in trouble, that type of way. So I started making bad choices about my stepfather guy. at this time, my mom, when later on, like a couple years after going down my dad, my mom reached out to my biological family to try to hook me back up with him. And he wasn't here for, I thought it was stepfather, so we didn't click too much. I kind of rebelled against him, and just left me back to my own devices and streets. At this time, I started selling drugs, and my gateway drug marijuana led me to escalate into other drugs. So at the point I had tried pills, syrup, everything. Eventually landing on wet is my drug of choice. It's replaced other drugs for kind of took over my in a negative way. These choices that I was making, I dropped out of school in the 12th grade. This was dumb. They wanted me to go back to school and repeat one class for one credit. So I had to do 12th grade and 12th grade for one class. So I quit because everybody else was graduating. I say because everybody else was graduating. That's one of the reasons. There's always more than one reason for things. I wanted to pursue other things. I was into the streets at this time. Bad decision. So I started playing cards and got arrested. And it seemed like I would get. They say I caught a case. You ever hear this expression? I caught a case. I caught a case. You don't really catch cases because you don't catch it. You do something to get the case. I started doing things and just started getting caught. And so I got in jail. I got my GED while I was in jail. I wound up doing 5 years of my life in Paris, going upstate. When I get out of jail, I actually go to community college. And trying to do the right thing there. I'm at the GED, I scored higher. They're actually in the top 10 percentile of the nation at that particular time. Because I'm still kind of proud of it. So I get 18 college credits. I started hanging back out with the same crowd. The crowd that actually followed me. Because I was like the leader. I had money, cars. So people did the stuff I did. I applied peer pressure to other people. So a lot of my friends started smoking wet PCP because of me. And they took me, I went to jail for 5 years, so I have 5-year break. When I come back, I go to community college, I try to do the right thing. Still hanging out with them. I don't get high for another year. I started getting high again. Started freeing my life down in another spiral. Started making bad choices because I'm hanging out with friends that I started smoking with. So you gotta watch out. Like sometimes we know we're going negative. Don't let that spread. Because everybody influences somebody. Everybody got somebody that looks up to them. You don't want to change somebody else's life in a negative fashion. And I did. I created a whole epidemic. I mean, 30, 40 people I know smoke right to the death. Because I started. I started, the person started. And it kills their lives. They will never function. They can't get a good job because you can't pass the drug test. They struggle economically. The kids suffer. stereotype is, it's different than cocaine. You know, blackheads are more functional than cocaine, but it still has the same devastating economic effect on us because the thinking's not clear. So the choices I made brings me here together. I'll eventually do more time. I do another 5 years. And I'm trying to do the right thing here. So I had breaks between my addictions and what my friends did. Now I have to leave lifelong friends alone because they're stuck in a pattern I started with. You know, it brings me to spending a lot of time on myself, create new friends, new positive friends. I have a mentor here, Mr. Joe Matone, in the Wings program that I met while incarcerated for 4 years and 10 months. Just got out in December. So I'm trying to do the right thing to make better choices in my life now. At 47. You guys are all under 20, I assume, right? 16 and 20. You guys are in the best years of your life. Believe it or not, y'all gonna look happy this time as some of the best years. The 20s are good too. Right now, you set up your 20s. Anybody going to college?
I have a question, Sonny. Using the scenario Tyree mentioned earlier, if you were standing next to a guy had drugs on him, cops come, get you and him, you know you're going back to jail now, even though you weren't involved. What emotion would you feel having to go back in after having your freedom now and understanding how valuable it is and precious it is?
Stupidity. I was just stupid. You know, being in that situation. There's no excuse. Ignorant of the law. They say ignorant of the law is no excuse. Ignorant of your associations is no excuse. You don't want to feel stupid. You know, like you have a big dunce head. You're sitting in front of everybody. That's how you're going to feel. You gotta watch your associations. You know, that's a choice that you have to make. It's a choice you can make. Have a good decision in or a bad decision. You know, because it does have ramifications. You get in a car, you take a ride. The ride can lead to incarceration. I watch a lot of World Star and that stuff. And high school is different. We had gangs and we fought. Everybody had guns because I grew up with. I remember when there was no cocaine. Crack came out in '85, hit the streets and took over. But you know, when I was in 9th and 10th grade, it was before '85. '85 was my junior year. You know, you guys, I don't know. I think the number one drug nowadays is more prescription drugs. I think I read someplace that prescription drugs is the number one drug over cocaine and heroin combined. And that stuff that you gotta avoid. You know, I think the number one drug is Percocet. That's heroin. I ain't never do heroin. Or I never did like pills or down. So that's what's going on out here. You guys gotta avoid it. You gotta make a good decision. Taking it, you know, just to get high, to escape from whatever you're dealing with. It's just going to still be there when you come down Because you're gonna have less money because you have to spend it to deal with your problems. So I would think about choices. I think a couple people raised their hand about college, making decisions to go to college. And that's the type of decisions that are beneficial towards the future, which you want to do. But whatever y'all want to do, y'all gotta have to pay for it some type of way. All the other towards thinking more of education and trying to find a mentor that can guide you. Some of you guys, maybe your parents don't resonate with you. Your message don't resonate with you, sink in or listen to you. You will find somebody you listen to that's successful that can help guide you. Nobody really makes it without guidance and light. You know, somebody has to pull you some type of way to the point where you can pull yourself or people. That's maybe like some of you guys' stories. The 30s, like years that in life where you learn how to do stuff, how to master stuff. Up until there was 20s, it was 20s. So when I went to college, on orientation, they said, it doesn't really matter which you pick as far as like a major. The thing is that you started towards your future because the way technology is today, things change every 6 or so years, 4 to 6 years. So you want to go back and get more training and pick something else. The decision today to go for something, to try, would be a good decision. It can have ramifications that can benefit you in the future. Bad decisions will have ramifications too. And, I was saying the world star, like fights and stuff like that, they aggravated assaults all on cancer. And the only thing that can lead to is a record and a stigma as far as that record is concerned. So you guys gotta really avoid these things. With Facebook and maybe FaceTime lives or Snapchat, you have an image. So I'm saying you have the social media image. Then you have yourself. And you guys will fight over both. Will fight over both. And live dual lives. Our generation, we ain't had any of this. We ain't had it. But when we had to fight, we had to fight. You know, I watch some of this stuff and it's different. Fighting in the set, close quarter combat. Ain't nobody gonna bring it up. Ain't nobody, people will knock you out. Throw water on you, wake you up, just to knock you out again, all night long. You know, every fight is gonna be bites, grabbing everything. You know, it's death fight. That's not what's on World Star, so you guys don't want to go to jail. And a little fight because over your social media image lead to jail. Start with record and it can lead to other things too.
Sonny, you mentioned in the other class about being incarcerated when your mother died. What was that like?
You miss out on life while you're in jail. 2 years ago, my mom died. I was in jail. 2 of my aunts came to her. people I thought were coming in, so two of my husband told me, and they actually paid for me to go to the funeral. I didn't get a chance to go to the funeral. I did get to view a body one time. And it's hard. You know, I got out in December 14th. And I'm planning on going to see my Mother's Day. My mom, when she, like I told you, I had a stepfather. My mom, she wanted to be buried with my stepfather to see her. And the person she was with at the time put her in another hurry. Want to put her where she wanted to be. She expressed her last will of settlement to everybody. So, faced with a dilemma, so that move around to where she wanted to where I knew she wanted to be. Even the door, but if I was here at the time out, I would be able to insist that she go where she wanted to be. Get my mom there. My mom was mad at the time because when I got arrested, her door got kicked in. No others. I had my own house. If you ever get in trouble and get worse, they go to all your known addresses. Any address you ever use. They might keep them all. But it's happened to me before. The police were looking for me. 7 houses got kicked in. Depending on how bad it was. These people will be mad at you. You want to mess up your friendship with 7 different people. My mom was upset about the door. She had some fancy door. So that was a little thing between me and my mom. And so God, we never got a chance to reconcile over it. So you missed stuff in the car, like in the car. So going to jail, you don't want to miss stuff. You might, girls go to jail. They might have kids. They don't want to miss their lives. Guys go to jail. They don't have kids. They might love the person that you're with. That's over. You do longer than a year. That's over. You never see. Very few cases ever last longer. So, you might be sacrificing for this gun, for this guy, you might be trying to get that money for that girl. It has ramifications. You gotta make that decision. Any questions?
I think we can have time out in the hall for individual questions. So if there's no group questions, I'm going to ask everyone to stay in their seats for a moment. Mr. Hammond, can you help pass these out? We're going to pass out these